band makes a song or writes a song, then probably record some demo stuff, and then at the end when they have like all the ideas together, they go into the studio and then they record the album. And we didn't do this at all. So everything when we wrote, it was the final takes. Like sometimes, or I think like in 80% was the first vocal take of every song. So we were just like completely in the flow, recorded, having recorded like drums and synthesizers and stuff, and then Marcus just was like listening to it for some hours or an hour, even wrote the lyric in the moment, and then he came up with the vocal and we recorded it, and that's it.
Cool.
And then of course we went to different studios after, like in London, or we had one engineer in Germany, and then we took the whole things, every stem and every vocal, and put it through all the like big analog gear, so to make it perfect.
Yeah.
But the moment of writing was also the moment of recording in this song.
And we can sit for like, we can make a mixing session in autumn, then we make another mixing session in England with a different mixer and try engineers. But like, this is also professional, but when it comes to recording the music, it's just about feeling.
It's more about the process, how the songs come.
We're sometimes in the middle of the night where we can be dead drunk, we can, practice something with the microphones, but we're always like, is this the right thing for the song? And then in this night it's quite chaotic, but that's how you find the track. And then afterwards it's a long process of like making a fine tuning. If you have everything, like if you have a perfect diamond, you just need to sharpen it and make it nice.
Nice. So how do you imagine a listener of your music? Who is she or he?
The listener of
I think it's
this one.
This one?
He or
Please,
she.
film the listener.
I think we spoke a lot about it when we did the songs, and we always said it's so nice because we can imagine like so many types of persons, so many different ages, different characters, and I think like as you see it on the concert, it's like there are people of the age of 18. Even tonight it's going
Like
one.
teenagers, your listeners? Yeah.
I wouldn't say teenagers, like the average, but
German interview.
But it's like, I think it's from 18 to even 60. Like sometimes you have really old people mixed with youngers, and also like the scenes. It's so good that it's open, because sometimes there are like some scenes, like goth scene or something, that you can like directly say, okay, these are goths or dark waves guys. But then on the other side we have like all these 80s people. We have younger people who are interested in more electronic sound. We even have this guy who saw me playing a techno gig at Amnesia.
Oh yeah, this guy who was just shouting, this Scottish guy. Yeah.
Nice.
He saw him 4 years ago.
And so I think because our music is not like clearly one scene or one genre, that my wish or my vision is to have just good listener that appreciate the music and knows about
It doesn't matter who or she is.
It doesn't matter at all.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
When we were picking up information about you, we thought you don't like to be called a post-punk band.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't like that.
We
So
don't care.
why is
We
that?
don't-
How
yeah.
would you qualify your music? What would you like to be called, named, or
Not one genre. It's too easy.
not one?
No, it's not one. On the album that
You didn't listen to the album.
didn't listen to the album.
Not fully.
The thing is, we really had sorts and sorts of interviews, people who were sent the album because they were working for magazines, and they were like surprised how there's a piano ballad and other songs of the album sound very different. So you will lose this shelf thinking, this pigeonholing of the music. You will lose it in exactly 2.5 weeks when you listen to it, because it's just not to put in a post-punk genre. We played
Some tracks, of course, like if you listen to Bones and Similar Familiar, and Walk the Street. Those are probably the three that you could say, yeah, that's probably, they've been listening to post-punk since they were born or something.
Yeah.
But I never listened to post-punk, and he had maybe a little bit of time when he was skating. But during, like, while we were doing the songs, we never had one moment of thinking, let's do something like Joy Division or something. Yeah. Never.
Comes from
And
the
it's-
techno, I think. From his techno.
And I just did like these drums, these repetitive drums, which I recorded, and layered loads of drums, and then from my techno past I had these sounds, these distorted sounds, the synth sounds, the ambient sounds, the large pads, and I just told him, let's try fat drums. I try something out with my synth sounds, that is this character sound which you hear on the album, and then it was so natural with his vocal, and then somehow sometimes there is this certain post-punk vibe in it, but I think it's more because of the timelessness of the music or something, and you can like
So yeah, about this timelessness.
yeah.
How do you imagine you can achieve this timelessness?
Don't believe the hype.
Yeah, first of all,
Don't
we
believe
never
the hype.
thought of what is working right now in the music scene.
That's the most short breath thing you can do when you do music. It's like you can make it somehow, but you never make the real you somehow.
And there's so many bands who really put together a project and then they're like, okay, let's do something of this direction and let's add this and this to it.
Oh, the new Bon Iver album
Because-
came out and it sounds like this. Let's try this. Let's try this.
Yeah.
It's like,
the whole
well, if you do that, you're banned from artistic life.
and you will not and all these original bands will disappear and there are not a lot of it.
Okay, so the album is called Hymns to the Night, right? This dark approach, where does it come from? Why did you choose this?
It's not a dark approach,
It's not a dark.
No, it's not about.
it's a misunderstanding.
Is it dark?
No, it's not. It's more
You do
about
not consider your music as something in the dark
yeah,
wave.
we
you
do
don't.
definitely. It has darkness, but it also has sunshine
Yeah,
and
it's,
light
it's
and
a perfect
hope
balance.
and uplifting.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing that we spoke in every interview, basically. That if we think about it, it's more about this balance in the music, that you have like these dark elements, and on the other side you have these hopeful elements or sunny elements.
Yeah.
And I think it's in the life it's the same. Like you have day and night, you have sun and shadow,
Ups and downs.
ups and downs, and if you don't have it in the music, something is missing, I think. Yeah. So I think it's also both of the characters. When you put two characters together, you also have a balance, if it's balanced. Because we are pretty different, and yeah.
Okay, so maybe the next question.
Yeah.
So, where was the start? How did it begin? Lea Porcelain.
Wine.
It began from the alcohol.
Yeah.
No, it began from the friendship, I would say.
Yeah.
It sounds a bit cheesy, but
Yeah, but we
it
were
was a
friends
friendship.
for years, and it took a time until we, like, the waves in us was there. And he was big in techno and getting there, and it was just. I think we started at a point where everything was so. You could see happening what was happening. He could have played techno gigs for the next 10 years, earned $5,000 a weekend, and see all these people in there maybe on drugs and loving that. But if the weekend is over, the music's disappearing. I think we wanted to do universal music that stands above everything, above what's hype right now, above what's the club scene right now,
Above scenes.
above scenes, above tastes, just a general taste, like a bond, you know, where people can listen to it and they're like, wow, I'm feeling something, and they can be part of it without being part of a group.
And we always said, when we did not had the project yet, we always said, if we do music, our first vision is to make music that could have been out 20 years ago, or we could bring it out in 10 years, and nobody would care, and nobody would say, no, that sounds a bit too 80, that sounds too what was happening 2 years ago. We wanted to do like our own thing, but we didn't know at this point if we can achieve it. Like, 'cause it's, and I think we did somehow, because most of the people can't categorize us if they listen to the album and say like, yeah, it has these 80 flair sometimes, but it also is very fresh. That's why, yeah, I think we got it. No, yeah.
So do I understand correctly that you don't like to be compared, let's say, with Joy Division?
Yeah.
Because you don't
I think
like
it's a
to
compliment.
It's a compliment, but we are not
See the parallels.
a retro or a
But
copy
it's not
band
your
of.
purpose.
Not at all. But I think also from the sounds, and it's really different. It just has the certain feeling they had. Because they also were completely. You could bring this album out now, and it would be amazing. And nobody would say it sounds a bit old, because they were original and they did their thing. That's the most important.
So what are you going to do after you become extremely famous?
What?
We started this project. We get a moped.
I think we do the
get a-
same,
Yeah.
but both of us, we have 2 Harley Davidson.
Yeah, there was one autumn day and we were like driving through the forest and we saw a motorbike and we're like, man, a chopper. Let's make a band. You know, you stop your techno bollocks and I break up with my girlfriend and we stop the waves in us, and we get both choppers and make a US tour. You know, and just have little equipment.
The Nightliner is going by its own, maybe
Yeah.
2 of them or something.
And we
just go with the chopper.
That was the original idea, to make this
Yeah.
band. 2 guys who want to chopper.
No, but to also be like a bit more serious. I think if you see that your art works and it grows, you should just continue to do the same, but for a lot of people. That's the only difference. That you have loads of fans. Pressure could be a bit more with the upcoming albums, but I think we just continue the same. And yeah, we're not gonna stop
You're not
until.
afraid that commercial pressure will come on you? for example?
Yeah, but if it
Will
comes-
influence your way
Yeah,
of
it can.
creation?
It can, but I think the moment we feel that it influences in a bad way, we stop and we go in the other direction. And I think it also can influence you in a very good way. That you sit, the next time we sit in the studio, we know there's a fan base waiting, and that motivates a lot as well. Like, I think you just have to handle it right, and if you don't get crazy because of the fame, then it just it's just very nice.
Or if you're crazy before, it's okay to be famous.
Have you ever been to Warsaw?
No, not once.
Never.
So what
But
about
I've been to
this?
Warsaw Street in Berlin. It's called Warschauer Straße. There's
Yeah.
a hotel there, and there's a bar
That's it.
there, and there was a drink there, and I had a text message sent to someone, and that was the lyric for Warsaw Street. Kind of. There's a poetic extension to it.
There's nothing with Warsaw or Joy Division or what's more.
I just didn't want to put a German name in there because at the minute it's even cool to have a German name with as a foreign band. I was like, no, let's not do it. Let's just do it our way. Translate for everyone.
And the last question, I think it's orientated to our Lithuanian people. Maybe there are some kind of recommendations for young musicians, because we have a lot of alternative in Vilnius, but
Yeah.
usually these people do not get noticed because we have a very small market.
Yeah,
Maybe they should go to London or Berlin because we
definitely.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I was always in the approach of doing something for the whole world, also my techno thing. Like, it's not common that if you're booked in the techno scene, that you're only booked in Germany or something. If you get to to the point where you have a good booking man and a good label, it's directly international. So it's I took this from the techno scene and told him, like, if we ever gonna start a project, I will not 1 minute be the German bands who plays German tours and who got this one gig in somewhere else at this 10 years. So it was from the start on it was, okay, let's do this music, but let's do it for the world, because we have internet, like borders are not really there anymore for me, for some places. So it's like the whole world is one thing now, the internet. Let's just do it for the whole world. And how should you do it? And then you think, okay, let's go somewhere where there's an important music scene, or where you can born a baby and then it grows in the right
And it goes deeper than this
environment.
It goes deeper than this. When I lived in Ireland, everybody who had a band that was kind of good, they were like, oh, let's move to London. So it's kind of a cheap move, and in Scotland or Ireland, you move to London if you want to make it. So this is not very well known in Germany. They're like, I don't know how they do it, but we needed to go there because we felt that's the place where the music can, even be nurtured. Berlin is a great place to live, but to nurture stuff is just, I don't know, London is the ear of the world. It still is. It's one of the most, if not the most exciting city in the world for music. If it's rap, rhyme, indie, rock, electro, techno is, well, that's here.
Yeah, techno is
You
here.
can see,
But even between London and Berlin now,
you need
it's
to,
quite interesting.
I love the joint venture of Berlin and London, because even the Londoners say, well, Berlin is the shit. And we say, well, London is the shit. And then if you combine both, it's the mega shit. So they like this German attitude, they all like this style.
But I think it's also because when we started to send the music out, we just had one guy who was in London, and we started to work with him, and let's go there. And Berlin doesn't have this this hardcore scene where you have like all these concert venues, hundreds of bands playing every night, this whole A&R thing, all these labels. It's just the center is in Berlin, the center is in London and America, I would say, like New York and LA and London. These three cities have this like environment of serious music scene for bands. And that's why we signed there, and our management is there, and everything is there. But like our souls are in Berlin, I would say. It's it's both of it. Like we have the structure of London and all this good team we have now, and we have our Funkhaus here, where our studio is based, which is just like a place where you have so much space, and you can just create. And in London it's very difficult to create.
It's very hard to have space. But if I have one good recommendation for any garage band or any musician in Lithuania, I would
Don't
say,
listen to music, to iTunes.
yeah, don't listen to contemporary music and just live your dream, give up everything and move to a bigger city. Like the guy from Arcade Fire is from Texas. He didn't make it until he moved to Montreal, that has one of the best music scenes in the world. So move away, go to Montreal for a year to get some experience, and then I think this sharpened us a lot. Like we've been slammed and like punched in the face so many times.
Yeah, you get like, if you go there in the first month, you learn how serious they are about it, and how fast it can be, and how fast you can be off the radar. And with 5 people saying, forget this band, you're like kind of forgotten. And if you went through this hardcore thing, it just shows you like how the business works a bit, and then you do your own thing, how you wanted to create it.
Yeah, you have to earn your stripes.
Yeah.
Okay, the last question, not for a record,
Where's the bird hand?
comes from our operator.